This is a big one, so I'm desperate to hear what Andy has to say about this. What the Jetsons predicted right and wrong about the future. There's a whole article about the Jetsons. Apparently, yesterday was the day that George Jetson was supposedly born. The Jetsons was a cartoon, for those of you living under a asteroid. The Jetsons was a cartoon in the 60s. I was watching it in my childhood, and it was about a family in the future. And this, according to the cartoon, George Jetson was supposed to be born yesterday in 2022. Do you have the article, Shannon?
Yes. So
okay, go ahead.
Oh,
break it down to us, and then me and Andy will respond.
Okay, so since his birthday was supposed to be yesterday, it says that means we're supposed to be only 40 years away from the Jetsons world of Rosie the Robot, toothbrushing machines, and apartment buildings high up in the clouds.
Okay, well, a toothbrushing machine is not that far off because, Andy, do you have an electric toothbrush?
I don't, but I'm aware of them.
Yeah.
I have awareness of them.
Why? What's your resistance?
I don't know. It's a bit weird. I'm old school, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like change.
Right.
But my wife is a huge fan.
I love them too. I'm on your wife's side on this one. Not to put a dent in your marriage. I'm sure it's great, but I think your wife is onto something here. And almost when I don't have access to an electric toothbrush, I almost just don't want to brush my teeth. I go, let a robot do it. I'm not going to do it myself. Let a robot take care of it.
We can't be too far off the robot game though, right? Like, I mean, we're already being served by robots to an extent.
As it should be.
And have you seen, like, Elon Musk's got this kind of Android that he's working on?
No, I've been his personal life has been I've been caught up in all that. He has 10 kids.
His gigantic nipples.
10 kids, and he does have gigantic nipples on a boat.
Huge.
But no one's going to tell him that. The richest guy?
I mean,
would you tell him?
I would, but he won't listen.
Yeah, well, you would get fired immediately, probably.
I don't know.
And you would have to go back to your nude beach that you're not going to let anybody disrobe on.
I tell you what the Jetsons didn't predict.
What?
Like, do you remember what the robot looked like?
Mm-mm.
She was very much like boxy.
Yes.
And like, it wasn't really trying to look like a human at all.
No, I think that's an accurate depiction of, have you seen women lately? They're kind of boxy. They're kind of robot-y and boxy. And, but she was the maid, right? And flying cars. How close are we to flying cars, do you think?
I think that's a little further away.
You think?
I like driverless cars. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's get there first.
Right.
I'm fascinated by driverless cars.
So am I, because I'm more fascinated with what it's going to do to the economy. All these people are going to be out of work.
I read this statistic. There's crazy numbers. There were two of them. The first one was that like 30% of downtown traffic, or like city traffic, not just downtown like here, but like city traffic, is people looking for parking.
I would agree with that.
But that's insane. Like, if you reduce that, you can just totally change.
You want me to blow your mind? I was in a cab coming home, and there's all kinds of taxes. We're really high taxes here.
Yeah.
And it was going through the price of the cab, the bridge, or whatever, and then all kinds of taxes. And then they had $2.50 congestion fee.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's like, so you're charging me? I'm stuck in traffic, and then you're charging me for it on top of it.
It's because the driver had a blocked nose.
He had a blocked nose?
Bit of congestion.
Andy,
keep up, Mike. Keep up.
Sucker punch. You sucker punched me. But that was great, yeah. But I can't believe. Maybe it was COVID related. Congestion fee.
Might be. You never know.
They required us to wear a mask for so long. But I think the fact that I am sitting in traffic and they're charging me on top of it. Then if you park illegally, then they hit you with a parking ticket and they charge you for that. Or if you go to pay to park, it's like $15 an hour to park. It's like there's no way to win except flying cars, which the Jetsons nailed.
I don't know that they're going to be cheap. I don't know that there's going to be there'll be a cloud fee.
Right.
There'll be
there's going to be a different
turbulence fee.
Turbulence, a stratosphere, a troposphere.
Doesn't strike me as being a cheap game. The old flying cars.
And there's nowhere to park in the sky.
We don't even have flying skateboards.
No, we don't.
We're very deficient in the flying space.
Well, we're scooter orientated. There's a lot of scooters.
Plenty of scooters. I feel like, you ever seen those things where it's like a wheel with two little paddles on the
Yes.
side of it?
Yeah.
That's pretty futuristic to me. First time I saw one of those, I was like, oh boy, we are. And that's kind of what the robot in the Jetsons was on. Because I'm pretty sure she had like a single wheel. you know?
Right. Yeah, that's right. She did have a single wheel, which is more efficient.
She's just leaning.
yeah, that's her.
There you go. Oh,
You're right,
maybe
she
not,
is boxy.
Not a single wheel, but very cylindrical maybe.
Yeah.
Why do they put dials for her eyes?
I don't think they want it too human. They don't want it too human because then guys will try to sleep with the maid.
Okay. So because you know, there's a thing where the wife's like, you can't have an attractive
Nanny.
right.
Right.
So do you reckon they'll have to give like a spectrum of voluptuousness of these these robot cleaners?
Yeah. And I think there'll be a dial on the back. It's like flirty to not flirty to mediumly flirt. You know what I mean? They'll have
Starts out that like, I will clean the bathroom.
right.
He gets up
and
to
no one
like,
wants to deal with that every day.
Gets up to like, hey guy,
Yes.
how was your day?
Yes.
You look tired.
Right. We all love that.
That was my sexy voice in case anyone wasn't.
I think the fans are aroused.
I also I lost my voice the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm like clawing it back, you know?
How did you lose it? Yelling at a woman? I'm trying to set you up.
It was
Misogyny?
it was a robot woman.
Oh, it was a robot woman.
It was a boxy looking regular woman.
Okay. It was okay. I'm just trying to get you canceled.
Oh, I'm doing a fair game of that myself.
I'm just trying. Anytime there's certain spots in the podcast where I will set you up to try to cancel yourself. And if you take the bait, then you take the bait.
I'm a big bait taker.
You are.
I'm described on my I describe myself as bait hungry.